Hello everyone. So today I thought I'll probably share with you that I have also started using org mode, org mode latex export to PDF for creating proposals and any documentation that I have to send to my clients. Now when you create these documents using org mode, you also have this ability to version control your files. Now, I recently started doing it because initially I was using LibreOffice and it works perfectly fine, but it is, of course, a bit huge. And I, anyways, use org mode for doing a lot of other things. So I thought, okay, let us move this particular. I mean, because I was using org mode uh, to write book, and in fact, couple of books, and I thought the latex export feature that I was playing with for my own personal book writing is now production ready. So I can probably start using this to create documents that I can send to someone, maybe my clients, like proper documents. And when you talk about proposals, proposals are really important because they are usually people sign those documents and they refer to it, and this is like a scope that you define. So basically it's a formal document, and there are so many things that are usually involved in a proposal. For example, let me show you this particular document. So this is of course just one page part of the proposal where I was proposing to my clients that will do training on Jira. And if you look at on the left hand side, it's nothing but different subtrees and session 1 and 2, and you can of course go further. And on the right hand side you have this wonderful document with the same information, but of course nicely presented with all the headers or bullet points. And the good thing about this particular approach is that it is all within Emacs, so I don't have to launch LibreOffice, OpenOffice, or Word. I don't use Word, to be honest. But I mean, I do use it, but only when I'm working for my client on their laptop, but not for my own needs. I'm happy using latex. And good thing about this approach is that if, let us say, your customer is asking, okay, Ravi, can you please send me the Word file, right? So what you can do, you can actually export this to ODT, and then you can convert it to docx, and you can do that all using terminal, because when you have LibreOffice, when you install LibreOffice, you can also invoke those commands to convert, to perform conversion using their terminal based utilities. So it is not really, I mean, of course I'm not really doing it every day. I mean, worst case scenario, I can always open the ODT file in LibreOffice, and then I can click on file and then save as, and then save it as docx. But when you do it using terminal, it is of course much more satisfying, and you can do it maybe with your one hand while having your evening tea. So it is more about the convenience and saving maybe additional 2 minutes. But but what I wanted to share is that yes, it is possible to create proper documents that you can share. Now, there is also one more thing that I wanted to do, and in fact I did it, but if you look at this particular PDF file, in the past my PDF files, or basically my proposals, or any document that I'm trying to send to my clients, I also try to include like a header or maybe some kind of footer, my company website, or URL of my website. So this is something that you can do in LaTeX. You can actually have those headers, which I believe I shared in one of my video. But yes, it is a possibility. So if you're not happy with for example, in this particular document, I'm using this horizontal line on top, which is of course just a simple line, but I'm assured that there is a way to do these things if I need to. But I think I'll probably switch back to the normal. I think the most I will do in this particular document is that I'll probably add just a URL or a company name in the footer. But to be honest, I prefer the clean look, and I think it is better when someone is looking at the document, they can understand what is happening and they're focused. At the same time, remember in the past, I think last month or maybe a bit more than 4 weeks, 1 month ago, I made few videos on plant UML. So plant UML works really great. I in fact wanted to learn plant UML for a long time. You always have this list somewhere in your mind, or maybe somewhere on your notepad, or maybe in your goals.org file that you want to learn these things. And plant UML was one such thing that I always wanted to learn. I'm not really an expert yet on plant UML, but I think I know enough to create simple diagrams, which I did. So recently I in fact delivered a few. So the way I work is, I think I've shared this in the past, but I've been working on a few books for the past few months, and those books are more or less 70% or 80% ready. But the book that I'm writing, for example, if I'm actually working on one book called Jira Work Management, where I have different sections. Like one section is going to come from one org file, the other one will probably come from another org file, and at the same time those individual chapters or those individual org files are or can act like standalone book in itself. And at the same time, if I have to convert the same org file to PDF, I can, like one PDF. At the same time, I can also convert that particular PDF file to a nice looking HTML based presentation using org reveal. So recently I actually delivered one training using a presentation that I generated from org reveal, and that is why I wanted to learn plant UML a bit more, because when you are working on a document, or maybe when you are sending your document to someone else, it is always good to have those diagrams. For example, I made one simple Jira workflow, and I defined one process, and I did it all using nothing but plant UML and org mode. But in this video, I actually wanted to give you this assurance that if you are thinking whether org mode can be used for creating proper shareable documents, you can. I also wanted to use org mode for sending invoices, because in the past, for example, I have two companies. I have one company in India and I have one company here in UK. For my Indian company, all the invoices that I generate, I do it manually. So I have this LibreOffice template that I use, and I think most likely I will convert that particular LibreOffice invoice to this org mode based file approach, because I don't really think, because that invoice has like some tables, and when you're working with org mode and when you're doing export to a PDF, tables are not massively user friendly to create. I mean, you can't really do each and everything, but it works. Simple tables work. So I'm still thinking whether I should do it or not, because I have been using that LibreOffice template for, I guess, more than 10 years. When it was not even LibreOffice, it was OpenOffice. But the format is same, right? And for my UK company, I don't use, I don't generate invoices manually. In fact, I did a couple of them, but I now use a proper software, accounting software. In fact, I shared it. I started using Free Agent. So, but yes, using org mode, you can also generate invoices. So far, I have been working on generating presentations using Reveal and proper shareable PDF files. And by the way, you don't, if you're like me, if you're like, if you prefer, or if you're happy with nothing but org based file, you can also create presentations within org file using org presentation org-tree-slide mode, which I believe I shared many times in the past. So I'm very happy and satisfied that one org file can do a lot of wonderful things based on the needs, based on your target audience. And that is all I wanted to talk about in this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. and you learned something new today. Thank you very much. Bye bye.